Hello there, dear friend. We are so incredibly glad you have chosen to spend some of your valuable time with us today. You know, we were looking at some numbers recently and noticed something interesting. It seems that only a very small number of you who come by to listen to our little stories have actually joined our community yet. If you find comfort or joy in the things we talk about, we would truly love for you to stay close by clicking that special button to join us. It really helps the way things are shared here in this digital space, and it allows us to reach even more people who might be looking for a little bit of kindness or help with their mental well-being. Have you ever sat quietly by yourself and wondered if you are actually a good-looking person? It is a question that crosses the minds of so many of us as we go through our days. Maybe you have even brought this up with your very best friends. They probably gave you a big smile and told you that you look wonderful, but even then, you might have felt a little bit of doubt deep down. You might think they are just being sweet because they love you and don't want to hurt your feelings. In your own mind, the tiny things you don't like about your face or your body seem so much bigger than they really are. So, how can you know the truth? How can you tell if you are actually attractive, even on those difficult days when you just can't see it for yourself? Let's talk about some signs that you really are lovely to look at, even if you are being a bit too hard on yourself right now. One of the most interesting ways to understand how attractive you truly are happens when you look at photos of yourself from a few months ago and compare them to how you feel today. Have you ever been scrolling through your phone and come across a picture of yourself from a while back? Maybe you were out at a party or just sitting in the park with your pals. You look at it and realize something quite surprising. You think to yourself, wait a moment, I actually looked quite nice there. This might even come as a bit of a shock because at the very moment that photo was taken, you probably felt just as unsure about your looks as you do right now, sitting here today. You might even do a double take because you look better in that old picture than you even remember looking at the time. You start to think that you didn't look bad at all back then. You see yourself in a kinder, gentler light when you look back. But then, you look at a photo from this morning or yesterday, and you start pointing out every little thing you wish was different. Your mind starts to pick apart each feature, each angle, each small detail that bothers you. There is actually some very interesting science behind why we do this to ourselves. Back in 2010, two researchers named Tal Isle and Nicholas Epley did a special test to understand this phenomenon better. They found that as time goes by, we start to see ourselves in a more general or what they call a more abstract way. This is very similar to how a stranger might look at us for the very first time without all the baggage and criticism we carry about ourselves. During their study, they took photos of people and asked them to guess how others would rate their looks. One group was told their photos would be looked at and judged by strangers that very same day. The other group was told their photos wouldn't be judged for many months down the line. The results were absolutely amazing and quite eye-opening. The people who thought their photos would be judged much later in the future were actually much better at guessing how others would see them. They were more accurate in predicting the ratings they would receive from strangers. This happens because when we think about the future or look back at the past, we let go of that harsh, mean voice in our heads that judges us so strictly in the present moment. Those tiny things we worry about today, like a small blemish or the way our hair falls, won't seem important or even noticeable months from now when we look back. So, looking at old photos is actually a great way to see yourself through kind eyes. The same eyes that other people use when they look at you. These researchers say you are a much better judge of your own beauty when some time has passed, and you can see yourself with a bit of emotional distance. It helps you step outside of your own critical mind and see what others have been seeing all along. The next time you find yourself feeling down about how you look, try scrolling back through your photos from 6 months ago or even a year ago. You might be pleasantly surprised by what you see and how good you actually looked during a time when you probably felt just as insecure as you do now. Another sign that you might be more attractive than you think is when some people act a little bit nervous or different when they are around you. Think about how you feel when you see someone who is really, really attractive. Do you get a little bit shy or quiet? Maybe you forget what you are going to say, or you feel a bit of a flutter in your heart because you are in awe of them and their presence. Maybe your palms get a little sweaty or you stumble over your words. Well, other people feel that exact same way too when they encounter someone they find beautiful. If someone thinks you are very attractive, they might get a bit clumsy or act a little bit awkward because they really want to make a good impression on you. They don't want to say the wrong thing or come across as foolish. If you notice that someone is quite calm and relaxed with everyone else in the room, but gets a little quiet or funny, or stumbles over their words when you walk into the room or when they try to talk to you, it might just be because they like you and think you are beautiful. It is a very natural and human reaction to feel a bit flustered when we see someone who truly catches our eye and takes our breath away. So if you notice this pattern happening around you, where certain people seem to lose their usual confidence when you're nearby, take it as a subtle compliment. They're not acting strange because something is wrong. They're acting strange because they're genuinely affected by your presence and your attractiveness. Sometimes life gets so busy that even making a simple dinner feels like a big mountain to climb. Have you ever felt that way? You come home after a long day and you're so hungry that you start to feel a bit grumpy, almost like a hungry dinosaur stomping around the kitchen. We have all been there at some point in our lives. Maybe you also wish you had some different types of food to eat instead of the same 2 or 3 meals every single week. The routine can get so boring and tiresome. I didn't even realize how much of my precious time and energy was going into planning and cooking until I tried a helpful meal service that is supporting our message today. They are known as the top meal kit in the whole country, and for very good reasons. Because we saved so much time on making our dinner, we were able to spend more time doing what we love most, which is making these heart-to-heart stories for all of you. They have options that are so quick and easy that you can have a lovely warm dinner on the table in 20 minutes, or even less. And the best part is that you don't have to worry about wasting any food at all. All the bits and pieces are already measured out just for you, perfectly portioned. This means there is less work for you to do, less food gets thrown away at the end of the week, and you're eating in a way that is kinder to our beautiful planet. Most importantly, this meal service offers a huge variety of recipes every single week that focus on healthy living and wellness. They have choices for people who want fewer calories, people who are watching their carbs, and even for those who are vegetarians or like to eat fish and seafood. Let's imagine cooking one of these meals together. First, we need to cut the mushrooms into 4 pieces and roast them in the oven until they are perfect and golden. Then, we cook the pork and the long, thin pasta at the same time to save even more time. You want to make sure you stir that pasta every now and then until it is nice and soft, perfectly al dente. After that, we make a creamy sauce and add some thinly sliced sage and some tangy mustard to give it that extra kick of flavor. Most importantly, we have to add a little bit of salt and pepper to make the flavors come alive and dance on your tongue. Finally, we mix everything together in one beautiful, delicious dish. And just like that, dinner is served. If you want to try it out for yourself, you can go to their website and use our special friend code to get 14 free meals and have them sent right to your house for free. It's such a lovely way to take care of yourself and make your evenings a little bit easier. Another sign that you're more attractive than you realize is that you might find your social media pages are quite busy with messages and new friend requests. Imagine you just shared a nice photo of your face. Maybe just a casual selfie or a picture from a recent outing, and suddenly you see a lot of people asking to be your friend or sending you sweet, flirty messages in your inbox. You might wonder who all these people are and why they are reaching out of the blue when you've never even spoken to them before. The truth is, people likely find you very attractive based on those photos you shared, and they just can't help but reach out because they are hoping you might like them back or at least give them a chance to get to know you. It is their way of trying to connect with someone they think is special and worth knowing. While this can sometimes feel overwhelming or even a bit uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to this kind of attention, it's actually a pretty clear sign that others see beauty in you that you might not be seeing in yourself. Do you ever catch people staring at you when you are out and about? Maybe at the grocery store or on the bus or walking down the street? When this happens, your first thought might be to worry and feel self-conscious. You might think you have something stuck in your teeth, or that a tiny bug has landed on your nose, or that your hair is sticking up in a strange way. You might worry about all sorts of silly things and start to feel embarrassed. But the reality is often much simpler and much kinder than what your anxious mind is telling you. Think about what you do when you see something beautiful in the world, whether it's a stunning sunset or a piece of art, or a person with a captivating smile. You naturally want to look at it again and again. Sometimes that quick look turns into a long, quiet stare because you're simply appreciating what you're seeing. So, you can relax and breathe easy. There is probably nothing wrong with your look at all. Their eyes are simply resting on yours, or maybe they are just enjoying your smile or the way you carry yourself. They might be admiring your style or the way the light hits your face. So the next time you catch someone looking at you for a bit longer than usual, try not to immediately jump to negative conclusions. Instead, consider that they might simply find you pleasant to look at. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. One sign that might actually surprise you quite a bit is when you don't get as many compliments as you think you would or should. This sounds completely backwards, doesn't it? How could not receiving compliments be a sign that you're attractive? But some people don't tell someone they find attractive how good they look simply because they assume the person already knows it. They figure you must hear it all the time from everyone else, so why would you need to hear it from them too? They might worry that you get so much attention already that another compliment would just be annoying, or feel like too much, or come across as insincere. If everyone assumes that you are used to being told you're beautiful on a regular basis, they might stay quiet to avoid being repetitive or bothersome. So, please remember that just because someone doesn't say it out loud today, it doesn't mean they aren't thinking it in their heads. You are still very attractive even when the world is quiet and the compliments aren't flowing freely. Sometimes the absence of compliments doesn't mean you're not beautiful. It might actually mean quite the opposite. So after hearing all this, do you think you're attractive? Are you going to go look through your old photos now to see how you feel about them with fresh eyes? We would love for you to tell us about it in the comments below and share your experience. Remember, even if you don't feel like the best looking person in the room on any given day, it is always true that beauty is in the eye of the person looking at you. Beauty is subjective and personal and means different things to different people. Please try to see the great things about yourself, both on the outside and the inside too. You have so many wonderful traits that you might be hiding away or not giving yourself credit for. Your kindness, your humor, your compassion, the way you make others feel. These are all forms of beauty that shine through and make you even more attractive to those around you. If you enjoyed this time together, please share this with a friend who might need a smile or a little boost of confidence today. Stay tuned for more by joining our circle, and as always, thank you so much for being here with us. We truly appreciate you and the time you've chosen to spend with us today. Remember to be gentle with yourself and to look at yourself with the same kindness you would show to someone you love dearly.